We're in the shop at the moment and there's an incredible range of gifts and things to buy around us, food and clothing. How many products do you think you stock at a guess?
We stock, I would think, about 2,000.
2,000 items.
And a lot of those are crafts.
Yes.
And of course people, when they think of fair trade, think of food. They don't think of crafts.
Yeah.
Which is why you need fair trade shops.
Yes. And do you think especially that's perhaps true of churches who will think they've got their fair trade tea and coffee for coffee hour, but don't think beyond that? What else could they do to be a fairly traded church?
Yes, because being a fairly traded church, you need coffee, you need tea. And in many ways, that's the easiest to sell. But the crafts tend to be from tiny either tiny cooperatives, tiny businesses, or even families. As a consumer, we have incredible power. We can choose what we buy. So we can choose to go to an exploitative source, or we can choose to go to somewhere that is fighting for justice in trade. And as a consumer, we are surrounded by choices, and I think possibly that's the most difficult. And the thing that the Fair Trade Foundation did was to make that choice easier for us because of the label.
Yes.
The thing with crafts is that's more difficult because you don't know unless you go to a shop which says it's a fair trade shop, whether it's exploited or not. If it's absolutely dirt cheap, then yes, you're getting a bargain, but who isn't? So if it's dirt cheap, you know why it's dirt cheap.
That somebody else
That
is paying.
somebody else is paying for your cheapness.
Yeah.
I think we've now got to think, what about the people who make the things? Are they getting the kind of wage that we expect? Are they getting the basics? And they're not asking for consumer goods, they're asking for water, they're asking for education for their children, they're asking for health services, they're asking for the things, they're asking for food, they're asking for the things that we take for granted. And they should have it. In a Christian world, in a world where there is justice, everyone should have those basics. And these goods are made by women who have been rescued from brothels. Once a woman is rescued from brothels, she cannot go home. She's contaminated. And therefore, if she's not given anything, then she has to go back into the brothel, which are horrendous. Some of the women very bravely go back into the brothels to rescue other women. And if they're caught, I don't need to say what happens to them. So Hattie Trading was built up to give these women some sort of hope. And so they make these bags. And they're beautiful. And they make felt toys. And they make leather bags. And they sell them through Hattie Trading to people like us. And we sell them to people like you. And this makes a huge difference to those women. Not only are they not degraded anymore, but they're not exploited, they can stand on their own 2 feet, they have respect for themselves, and their whole life is changed. And buying a bag can change somebody's life.